Tucker Carlson has very frequently returned to the topic of Hunter Biden in recent years. He has an issue with Hunter Biden for all sorts of different things. Some of it founded in truth, some of it whatever conspiracy theory he'll bring up and then discard once it's proven false. He especially doesn't like, though, that Hunter Biden has gotten ahead in the world because of his family connections, saying at one point in October of 2021, when your dad is president, you get superpowers. That's because Hunter Biden apparently is going to be an artist. He says maybe Hunter Biden will invent a new vaccine next. We'll be required to take. Who knows? You never know. The sky is the limit when your dad is in power. So the issue isn't just that because he has a powerful papa, he gets to do whatever he wants, but he has to tie it into vaccine skepticism too. Because remember, Tucker Carlson is trying to get his audience killed. But anyway, he identifies that when someone's dad is powerful, people take advantage of that. And he should know because that's what he did. I will remind you of a story back from 2014. He apparently communicated with Hunter Biden, I think through an intermediary, who was at that point the son of the vice president, because Tucker Carlson wanted something from him. He wanted to cash in on Hunter Biden's daddy. Apparently, Susie Carlson wrote, I realize you don't really know Buckley. This is to Hunter Biden. They're talking about their son, who of course would be named Buckley. Maybe you could meet or speak to him and he could send you a very brief resume with his interests and grades attached. You see, he wanted to go to Georgetown and they thought with the vice president getting involved, maybe they could get that. Tucker Carlson said that his son was a good squash player and an excellent fly fisherman. So, what else do you need? He says he loves Washington for all the right reasons, I think, and really wants to go to school there. Susie Carlson asked for a letter of recommendation saying, Tucker and I have the greatest respect and admiration for you, for Biden. To that point, when they wanted their kid to get into a school, to jump the line based on his fly fishing and his squash playing, they had a lot of respect for the Bidens and all that. And they were happy to cash in on the powerful papa there, Francesca.
Elitism, it's such a small little circle, and how quickly they'll turn on one another if they can get a leg up. It's insane. The hypocrisy on the right, it's forever. This is like if we found out that John got a reference from Marjorie Taylor Greene for a job.
Exactly, or like, right? I got funding to start a restaurant thanks to a word from Lauren Boebert or something. Exactly.
Absolutely.
Now,
no,
look, really
and it happens all the time. Let me just like, we all know that like Candace Owens, for example, once sued for racial discrimination of her high school. She sued her high school for racial discrimination and won. This is someone who goes around saying that systemic racism doesn't exist and it's all in black people's heads.
Yeah, 100%. Now look, for many of you, this is the first time that you're hearing about this story. Others of you might be familiar with this. Well, I want to give you the little update. So Tucker Carlson apparently had gone this long without journalists actually trying to get him on record as to why he was so hypocritical about this, using the Biden family connections when it was beneficial for his family. But then when Hunter Biden wants to be an artist using the name Biden, that's suddenly like a topic of national concern. So the Washington Post spoke to Tucker Carlson in a 15-minute phone interview. And here's how Tucker Carlson weaseled out of identifying the fact that he's a massive hypocrite, saying, Hunter Biden was my neighbor. Our wives were friends. I knew him well. I talked to him many times about addiction, something I know a lot about. And I've said that. I think that Hunter Biden is an addict, and that's why his life is falling apart. And I feel bad for him. I've said that many times and I mean it. And none of what I just read in that quote has anything to do with the substance of what the question was actually about. Hunter Biden might have been his neighbor. That's not why you were asking him for the recommendation. You were doing it because his dad was vice president. That's it. It's indisputable. And now that I guess you either don't need or don't want the Bidens to help out your son, whose fly fishing wasn't enough to get him into Georgetown, now you will grift in the other direction, using the addiction that you're barely pretending to care about. It's fairly see-through in that quote. To attack Hunter Biden on a daily basis. Although again, I will remind you, Hunter Biden is not effectively a national public figure. If he's going off and getting ahead in some way with his artistic career, we can think that that's annoying. I don't generally like nepotism, but Tucker Carlson is also ignoring all of these stories about Kushner cashing in for literally billions of dollars from the Saudis on the way out from the White House. So again, You were hypocritical back in 2014. You're literally in the process of being hypocritical by not identifying all the ways that the Trumps have gotten ahead based on their family. So again, he goes on, by the way, to say that this could be Russian disinformation. He's joking, see, because the Russians lie about that. You get it? Yeah. You get it? Oh, you got me. I was a hypocrite, but whatever. Something, something vaccine, something, something Russia.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I actually don't care if Hunter Biden used his dad to get a leg up in the art world. I think more politicians' children need to be supported in the arts. Hello, George W. Bush. We've seen where that war criminal has ended up, painting puppies in his ranch in Texas and never facing any consequences. So I say we do more of that. I'd rather see that than see them trying to solve the Middle East crisis / again, get a ton of money from the Saudi royal family, as in Jared Kushner. But also, like, this is exactly who Tucker Carlson is. He is a sniveling elitist hypocrite who is so conscious of everything that he is doing, so conscious of the misinformation and the poison that he is feeding his audience night after night after night, because it's a grift and it wins and it sells. I don't care if it puts people in danger. I don't care if people go out and brutalize immigrants, brutalize Black communities because I'm peddling the great replacement theory. I don't care if I'm white nationalist. You know, at least on TV, it's just for television. It doesn't matter. And here you have it. Not only that, he's saying, basically, he was my neighbor. I'm not denying I asked him for favors. And guess what? I'm a terrible neighbor. I am a horrible person who utilizes people for my own advantage. And then I throw them under the bus when it's also to my own advantage for him being an addict. Meanwhile, if there's anyone on the right who has addiction problems, right? They roll the red carpet. There's no problem, because there shouldn't be a problem, because it is an affliction, because it does happen.
Yeah, and look, let's say that none of this Hunter Biden hypocrisy stuff was there. Let's say that Tucker Carlson didn't specifically go out of his way to try to make Hunter Biden a story literally every week. If you're a conservative and you're watching this and you like Tucker Carlson, you believe that he's a populist who's fighting against the elite, forget the hypocrisy. Do your kids get into elite colleges thanks to the connections you have to the vice president's son? And by the way, even if without the hypocrisy, Tucker Carlson railed against the Democrats constantly back then, but he used his connections to what you would label as the deep state to help his family get ahead, to go to an elite college. Like, again, like, I cannot believe that you can't see through this con, how shallow his populism actually is. For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.